soon. He shall come in the morning. He shall come to you. Brothers all in charity, sisters all in liberty. He shall come in the morning. He shall come to you. Hope shall come in the morning. Hope shall come in the morning, sir. Hope shall come in the morning. Hope shall come to you. Take this faith from the night. Open your heart, the wings they fly. Hope shall come in the morning. Hope shall come to you.
Peace and joy and hope. That's something that I think all of us can, I don't know, use a little refill of, and on our Sunday mornings. And Richard Firestone, every time he comes, he says, "Thanks for the pep talk. I needed the pep talk." And it's like, that's what I think Sunday is. It's a time to recharge and become aware of all that we truly possess as loving, thinking people. And remembering we do drive our own bus. We do create our own lives. Sometimes things just fall out of the sky at us, but most of the time, it's us making the decisions. Some work out better than planned, some not so great, but doesn't mean that we don't have that privilege to think and to know how much we possess within us. And this morning, our awareness would like to welcome Michael O'Brien playing beautiful music again for us. And that's something that we get here as well. We have Michael and Wayne and Debbie, and all three sound different. We get the music, the art according to the artist. And it's fresh. Every week it's fresh and it's beautiful. We are so fortunate. And can we just maybe take a moment and just be aware of how much gratitude we can feel for everything that this little corner represents in our lives. And so it is.
Good morning. So I've been awful busy. It's, for me, it's the equivalent of harvest season as far as work. So I'm totally spun and tired. I get in the beautiful smorgasbord of information for spiritual stuff. I get all kinds of stuff, overfills the email box, and people will share links and that good kind of stuff. So I looked really, really hard to give proper credit to where I got this information. I couldn't find it. So I'm just paraphrasing or plagiarizing, but I'll share what I can. There was one of those emails that was sharing, 2 free classes, but sign on here for extra dollars to learn this great, enlightening spiritual stuff. So but one of them, it was, Pat likes that word ponder. I kind of like that phrase, things that make you go, There was a video talking about essence, and they didn't call it essence. They talked about that I am. I can't pronounce the biblical I am, but it's a big deal in the Bible, that sense of identity and who we really are. When someone asks you who you are, your initial response is usually your name. That's the identity family or others bestowed on you as a lifelong identifier. But after the name, who are you really? You might fill in the blank with your roles, your employment or interests, mother, father, daughter, son, wife, husband, friend, lover, current employment, artistic activities, social roles, hobbies. All of these are aspects of who you are, but they don't describe your true essence. In my own belief set, I'm a magnificent, dynamic child of creation, and any label or identifier diminishes my sunshine and makes me less than my essence. Neil Donald Walsh writes, your soul is who you are. Your body and mind are what you use to experience who you are in the realm of the relative. So how do you find your true self, your essence? The mind is a very noisy place. Move away from the noise, change the radio station playing outdated beliefs and messages to a station that supports your passions and interests. Your values will gain prominence and begin to guide and drive how you live. Some of the practices which allow the still, small, quiet voice of your essence to be heard are these. And many of these are what gets shared from up here during the practice, or things we do anyway, but take what you need and leave the rest. 1, unplug. Devices and technology, they help to keep us anxious and feed the noise. And there's some studies that actually tend to make you depressed and more negative in your thinking by that constant anxiety that goes with it. 2, immerse yourself in nature. Some of the practices that I've heard along that, grounding, earthing, right? Take your shoes off and put your feet in the dirt while you go garden, or while you experience a walk on the beach or out in nature, or just go take time to be with the trees and the bugs and the birds and the wind. It's a good thing. 3, use mindful practices to slow down and be present. Some suggestions, but this again narrows the big field of that. Breathing, dance, meditation, drumming. I've had lessons in mindfulness practices, even being mindful about things like eating, to take the time to fully enjoy every bite and taste every bite and take time in between. 4, schedule playtime. 5, get physical. My godmother used to say, when you quit moving, you're dead. 6, pamper yourself. It relaxes the nervous system and it makes you feel good. 7, laugh every day. Every Sunday we come up here and Pat tells a joke, and somewhere in the service there will be a joke. 8, eat something healthy. Nourish your mind, body, and spirit with great food. 9, eat something unhealthy. In balance, it keeps us from being uptight about diet and decreases stress, and it boosts self-esteem. 10, get creative. The act of creating restores connection with our flow state. Time and mental noise slips away as we're engaged in creating. No to-do lists, judging, noise. It's pretty good stuff. Creating reconnects us with our nature. We have a wonderful, supportive community here at the Oaks, and your essence is strong and vibrant. May you try some of these suggestions and let the beacon that is yours radiate brightly and share your light. Each of your essences burns as bright as flaming magnesium. Shine on. Namaste.
Yeah. Shine on. We had no idea what the message was this morning, but thank you very much. And as you were speaking, I thought about, and I figured this out actually years ago, about I am, one word, I am adorable. Just how it is. So, well, good morning, and good morning, and good morning. It's good to see you this morning. We are having the 36th, 40th annual accordion festival downtown. It's one of the things that makes this a great little town to be in. And we had the fundraiser. Some of you showed up on Friday evening, had the fundraiser. Not many people showed up, but it was really laid back. It was very intimate and just really, really nice. And we made $350 in 2 hours. So that was very great. And they also have a what they call a jam tent, where some of the old players just go down and people can bring their instruments and sit in and play with them and make donations to the scholarship fund. They also donate a lot of accordions, and they sell those for the scholarship fund. And last year, I think we had 8 students, and they got, if I'm not mistaken, $500 a piece as their scholarship. So it's a really worthwhile program. And so, and I told the folks when we started it, I said, you know, the accordion isn't a real popular instrument. Guitars and keyboards and drums and bass, that's where the real popularity in taking lessons is. The only least trendy instrument that I can think of in the accordion would be the oboe. And if we want to start a National Oboe Festival here, I will chair the Oboe Scholarship Committee. So, anyways, thank you for all who participated. Today, we are having our first in a while potluck. And if you are comfortable with that, great. And if you're not, don't attend. But some people really enjoy that hospitality. So we're all big here, and we're all just do what we feel like doing. Today, during the potluck, we have a calendar. It will be on the stage of flower donation for people to sign up to bring flowers for a particular Sunday. I looked at it last week, and there was not a single name in October or November or December. So you have wonderful opportunity to share the beauty and let it shine. Wednesday evening, 7 p.m., right here, open discussion group. Thursday morning, and it will be this coming Thursday, is that correct? 10 o'clock in the hall. Book study. What's the name of the book?
We changed. We're doing Ernest Holmes' This Is You. This Is You by Ernest Holmes.
Oh, This Is You. Okay, good. That's a good book.
Yeah, isn't it though?
And so anyway, any other announcements? None? Bonnie?
I was at the accordion festival yesterday, and I'm here to say I think it was one of the best it ever had. Everybody was so happy, and you know there was just a feeling of happiness. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's the best one you've ever had.
You know why that probably is, Bonnie?
Yeah.
Is because during this pandemic, all of us have had a chance to redefine value. And when we get together, we used to, I know I've heard ladies look at the way she's dressed and I wouldn't go out in public. We don't do that so much anymore. Guys aren't so rude and crude anymore. We really value this interaction with each other as people, as community members, as citizens. So the more we can do this in this type of consciousness, yes. And I will remind everybody on the 9th of October, that's like 3 Saturdays from now or something, is the Katati Music Festival. It used to be the Jazz Festival. Now it's the Music Festival. It's free. And it goes on, I don't know, from noon to 4, noon to 6 on the 9th. And all different kinds of music. And again, it's free. There'll be vendors, but you don't have to spend $25 or whatever it costs to get in. So
That's fun.
and it's fun. And it's very fun. Thank you very much for that, Bonnie. All right, that being said, let's stand and sing in this very room. We got everything we need to make this a wonderful life experience.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for one like me. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy He's in this very room. Jesus very room. There's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. And there's quite enough good and quite enough power to reach and live here. For Spirit, my Spirit, is in this very room.
And now it's time for all of us to greet each other in whatever way we are comfortable.
Hello. I'm Michael. Hi. Nice to see you.
Finally got this AC and all the contract. Friday night the snow started. Yeah, I got through that. We're gonna work for it. Do it again later. I love the way you play, Michael. I love it. It's just, we should play some music sometime. I really enjoy it.
I love your videos. Real quick, just one run through that. I see one verse.
Be still and know that I am God. Yeah,
That's what I thought.
yeah, just.
Thank you for the compliment.
Yeah,
That's really touching.
And you know, Debbie, and I don't know, have you ever met Sylvan, who plays the violin?
Oh no.
Anyway, he's in a band, he's a violin player. He and his wife and Roy, last name won't come out of my head. The way they do some stuff here with special music. They're just, and we just all get together once in a while and just play some music, and it's just so much fun. And because everybody comes from a different place, and everybody, like, I'm not a musician, I can't play, I just play by ear and chord. And but Sylvan, his mother was first chair cello in the Chicago Symphony, and they lived in Youngstown. They flew for it every week.
It's a serious post. First chair.
Yeah, and then she told him when he was sick, you need an instrument, and it shall be the violin. And she taught him. He can read Beethoven and stuff. He likes to just play. He doesn't like to do All right, young man, Ananda, come right up front. This young man, like all of our young people, are such an asset, such an abundance. They're just, we could just use all the energy and all the ideas and all the thoughts that aren't all covered up with 40 years of habitual thinking, that we can just all use everything they're willing to share with us. So would you like to share with us today, young man?
Let's see. Yesterday we deep cleaned the house a little and installed a shelf in my room. So
Well, good.
yeah, that was fun. And this morning I woke up and was about to come out the door, and there was a giant, beautiful spider web, like a circle spiraling around.
All in one day.
Yeah.
Wow. They do amazing things.
I know. Yeah. It's a big one too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I've got a spider that lives in my living room ceiling.
Mhm.
Actually, it's Willard the Third. It's Willard's great grandson.
Yeah.
He's been there. I don't mess with him, and he don't mess with me, and he takes care of He takes care of everything he needs to do, and I do everything I need to do.
And we figured we would just leave the door open and any flies that tried to come in would
There you
take
go. Let nature take its course, huh? Well, thank you for being here, young man. Thank you for ringing the bell, and thank you for offering a gratitude blessing over our basket every week. So thank you for all that you bring to our family here at Church of the Oaks. Let's read together, please, the affirmation of abundance. When we transform abundance and prosperity from a perception to a consciousness, our lives will increase beyond any definition of tangible value. We will be that abundance and prosperity. May we ponder that for a moment or two, please. Thank you, Michael. Now, as we prepare ourselves to participate in the practice, let's sing together, "Be still and know that I am God."
Be still and know that I am God. Be still, be still, be still and know that I am God.
Good morning. I just want to point out Pat's not the only one who can wear cowboy boots to church. And now you have to do the practice too, and it's a physical one today. So
Okay,
you can do it.
that.
You can do it. But it completely relates to the apparent theme of the day, which is shining our light. This is one that I learned from Kyle Gray, who's a teacher in the realm of sort of angel oracle readings that I've trained in. And I like it because it provides a nice practice for those of us who are less visual and maybe more somatic. It's all about picturing that I am light that you are, which we can picture above our heads, and physically bringing it down into the rest of your being. So what I'll do, it actually works out perfectly because we're such a small group this morning, we'll have plenty of space to spread out. And so to begin with, I'll just invite you all to stand up and see if you can get enough space between you to go like this. And if you have to stand in the aisle to achieve that, that's okay. And then I will go here to the middle and just, to the degree, your shoulders may not let you do what I do, but just do it to the degree that you can. And I'll go over here and demonstrate. So, yoga style, just start with your hands at your heart. And as you stand in your center, notice this beautiful ball of light, about 12 inches above your head. It's here that your I am presence lives all the time, no matter what's going on down here in the physical. That's where your connection to source never fades, never flickers, never goes out. And just by doing this physical practice, you can remind yourself of that at any time. If you're in public, you can just imagine you're doing it, but of course, with your arms, it gets even more deeply into your being. We're just going to start at the heart here. Take a deep breath for 2. 1, 2, and then as you exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going for a longer exhale than our inhale. 1, 2, inhale, and 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale. One more time on your own. Now move your hands to your forehead where your third eye would be. And again, breathe in for 2, and out for 4. Finally, to the degree you're able, or just stay here if that's more comfortable for you, bring your arms up. 1, 2, inhale, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let your arms open in a swan dive kind of motion. And again to your heart. That breath in, 1, 2. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. And as you go through one more time, really put your attention on that place above your head, and as you move your hands into it, feel you're making almost an electric connection, bringing that energy now all through your field, and all the way down your grounding cord to the center of the earth. With this practice, you are bringing your light more fully into your being and therefore into the world. And just feel what that feels like for a moment. Think to yourself now, I am that. And so it is.
Thank you, Michael. And thank you, Natalie and Sabrina. It's like, as we participate together, as we stand up and we share ourselves and our thoughts, that's the light shining. All of us. I'm going to, usually I have some profound words of wisdom to share on Sunday mornings. It should be actually written in stone on some tablet somewhere. But today I'm just going to talk about, I think you folks are heroes. And the way you have shined your light in the past and continue to shine your light today. I was honored to be asked to be part of a brainstorming symposium with the Council on Aging. And I was asked to be in that as a person, a representative of a faith-based organization. I didn't know it, but there are 275 faith-based organizations in Sonoma County. Most of those are churches. And we've met twice now. We met the other night. and shared ideas. And I was asked to be the closing speaker. And I heard some amazing ideas of what different organizations are doing. One organization, the Council on Aging is trying to foster a program throughout our community called an age-friendly community. And that's age-friendly not only to seniors, but to youngsters and middle-aged people, and just try to make it all blend together in some sort of real harmony, like we kind of think it ought to be. And so there's one group that put together a group of volunteers in their congregation. It's a Presbyterian church, and they have 175 members. I don't remember which church it was, but it had 2 representatives at this symposium. And they said they started this group, and they called it Seniors, SEENYEARS. I thought that was kind of novel. And the requirement to be one of these very special seniors, you had to be at least 50. And to come to a meeting, you had to bring somebody else at least 50 with you. And they help with Meals on Wheels, they help transportation, they just help wherever there's something that needs done. And they know the value of this because they've seen a lot of years. There's a group of young people, high school students from Santa Rosa High School, that were volunteered to serve in whatever capacity. And we're trying to get them to become, a little idea that I had was called Geeks for Geezers. Like when we get a new phone or telephone, we don't even know a TV. We don't know how to hook that thing up. Doesn't require a technological major PhD or anything like. It just takes a kid, because they know about all this stuff, and they can just make 2 days of screaming, yelling, and throwing things of hooking up a smart TV. They can do it in an hour and laugh at us. We give them such joy by allowing them to laugh at us. But I'm going to kind of paraphrase. I don't remember exactly what I said. I never remember exactly what I said unless it's a really good joke. But my talk about, as I heard these people, I said, I'm going to brag a little bit about Church of the Oaks. That's my faith-based organization. I said, here a while back, the first time they had the big fires up at Clear Lake, group of 6 or 8 people in our congregation said, let's start a little group, call it the Crisis Wranglers. And in just a couple of days, we found like 12 or 15 vendors that sold like Mary Kay and Tupperware and stuff, candles and jewelry and stuff. And we had a little one-day flea market sale. We raised, everybody pledged to give at least 80% of what they sold to a fund, the fire fund, the Crisis Wranglers Fire Fund. They came up with like $2,000. We bought $50 gift cards and sent a representative up to work with one of the federal agencies to give gift cards. That's not money. It doesn't knock them out any assistance that a government agency might give them. It's a gift card. And that way people with kids that could get things that food stamps couldn't get, or that hotel vouchers couldn't get. Then it just kept on going. We had more fires, and we needed things. We worked with the living room. We worked with cots. We worked with a couple of the, Maury turned us on to this homeless organization, and we not only tithe money, but we also, when they need sweaters, we have a sweater driver, need tents. I remember one year Sierra got up and got us all to do tents and stuff like, and we had a van full of stuff in just a couple of weeks to donate. And I explained to him that this little group called the Crisis Wranglers, I said, first of all, I said, Church of the Oaks is mighty. We have 37 members. We have a huge amount of energy and wherewithal. But out of these few people that called the Crisis Wranglers, they all had a Facebook network. They all had an email database of their very own. And everybody included that. And all of a sudden, these 6 or 8 people had literally hundreds of people that were part of the Crisis Wranglers. One of the Crisis Wrangler people found out that the Catholic Charities Organization in Oakland had a dilemma. They were an entity that was handling the incoming refugees from Afghanistan. And there was some sort of a split between Catholic Charities in Oakland and Catholic Charities in Santa Rosa. They weren't working together for some reason. The Crisis Wrangler said, we will. So we found out that there was a young family coming. They were going to live in Petaluma. It was a man and his wife and a baby and a 2.5-year-old. And from the time we said, okay, let's do this, I think it was either 8 or 11 days. We rented a truck because they wound up getting an apartment second. We furnished their entire house. All the furniture, beds, linens, paper towels, toilet papers, groceries, a sewing machine because the lady sewed, all their furniture, lamps, television, everything for their house, pots and pans, everything. This little group of Crisis Wranglers energized their network, their connections. We came together as a huge community. And so here's the lesson. When we shine that light as people in this community, when we shine our light together, it gets brighter and brighter. But like that wise old Irishman that wrote the last quote, said, when we shine that light based on the good of the whole, who do you think sees that light shining? The whole, other people. I told the people at the seminar about our little partnership we had with COTS and how we just kind of discovered that program even existed just by chance. And we got our heads together and started cooking out a partnership agreement, and within 6 months, our old rundown parsonage got a whole new interior and became transitional housing for 6 people. They're still there. It's amazing when that light shines. And somebody said, well, church, that's who has the pancake breakfast for the parade. I said, exactly. How do you do that? You're searched so little. I said, because it's for the good of the community. It lets people, families with kids that don't have a lot of money, come down and let them fill up their bellies on pancakes and have a good time. And I said, we put out a vase at the end. We put a couple bucks in it. Said donations are greatly appreciated. Our light encourages other people to put their money in it, and we very seldom spend over $20. This year we were out of different things and we bought some inventory. We came out $42 in the bed. And that's like, we spend more than that going out to breakfast at Tubby's. We do. And it's like, we feed anybody that needs to be fed that day. We've been doing it for, I think this was maybe our 16th year, maybe our 20th year. I think it was our 20th year perhaps, because we started it right after I came here. The fire department had done a pancake breakfast and they quit because it got too expensive. And the chamber says, why doesn't Church of the Oaks do it? We said, okay. And we've been shining that light, and it makes a difference in our community. And every one of us has a community that is different than what's sitting here right today. We all have our community. And when we shine our light in that community for the good of that, for the good of our family and our friends and our work associates and our next door neighbors, that light encourages and energizes people that might not otherwise have the motivation to enrich their lives and the lives of those around them. I think it was Dwight Moody who said, when you're shining your light, you don't have to tell people you're shining it. They see it. The lighthouse doesn't have to fire cannons to let the ships see it. The light in itself creates light for people you have no idea who are going to see it. I just had coffee with the chief of police. There was right over in the little farm parking lot across the street. This morning, 8 o'clock, they had put up a little pop-up that said coffee with the cops. And they had coffee and donuts for people. And Mike Parrish is the chief of police, and he and I have been friends since the day he got hired. And he said, thank you guys. I said, thank us. He said, yeah. He said, we've gotten some flack from the community about your 12-step programs that you have every day, about people, they complain, well, they maybe aren't wearing masks. He said, here's the thing. That is an absolute necessary function of our society. It's as necessary as the hospital or the churches or the stores or the grocery store. He said, give them that space. Quit complaining about them and encourage them. Because every day they're sitting in that meeting, they aren't driving drunk or high or fighting or causing a problem. They're staying clean and sober. And that's such a value to this community. We don't have any idea how much light this little consciousness corner of ground spreads in our community. Before COVID, we had 600 people a week using that hall in the cottage for recovery meetings. Now there's probably about 400. And more coming back. Every couple of weeks we get another group started back. 600 people a week see and feel the light that comes from this corner. It's a consciousness that we create. Of course, it takes money. That's not why we're in business. To keep that consciousness, keep that light shining, keep this lighthouse here. And as long as that light's shining, that basket will have enough to pay the bills. And that's the truth. You folks are my heroes. I'm so proud to be able to talk about all the light all of you shine week after week after year after year. Thank you. Namaste. Let's stand up and sing this little light of mine. gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. A little amen.
Sick and I